For years, the McDonald's Classic has been the launch pad for future college and NBA stars. Michael Jordan first hit the national spotlight in that game. But here at the Alamo Dome, next January, the U.S. Army is going to give high school football players a national platform to display their talents. And according to Army officials, the skills to be used on this playing field aren't very different from the skills to be used on the battlefield. These students don't know what dilemma the instructors are going to throw at them next. It's easy to see how one could mistake an actual police officer for a role player in the exercise.
President Bush has made it clear that America's war on terrorism will continue until every terrorist cell in the world is destroyed. Since no one knows where the next front line will be, soldiers need to train around the world.
As combat missions wind down, military officials are gearing up to help rebuild that country.
To accommodate that change, Central Command has ordered the 82nd Airborne Division to head up a new coalition joint task force. The task force will take charge of all operations in Afghanistan. They say it's never too late to get in shape, and sports officials at Fort Myer, Virginia believe it. The military community hosted its first annual Senior Health and Fitness Day.
Now, back to the award-winning Army News Watch.
Welcome back.
It's one of the most intense courses a soldier will ever encounter. Students in the Special Forces Qualification course face a number of life-threatening dilemmas. How they handle those situations determine who will earn the coveted Green Beret.
Exercise Robin Sage is the fourth and final phase of the Special Forces Qualification course. Students are tested on their ability to take classroom instructions and employ what they've learned during a 15-day training exercise.
Individuals are given the maximum opportunity to make hard decisions. We want them to make the hard right over the easy wrong and stand by their decisions afterwards.
So if you can't take them with you, and they ain't supposed to go to Pineland or to Foreland, what do you got to do?
Take them out.
This full-scale combat mission is the Q-Course final exam. The test usually requires these future Green Berets to swoop in by helicopter, rescue a family held hostage, and return them to a safe haven.
We've changed that scenario tonight to reflect the people that we're going against, the Al-Qaeda, those kind of people who don't play by any rule book. Their best wish is to die, and we're going to do everything we can to facilitate that.
You're halfway up the building, halfway up the building.
Local civilians also play a key role in the exercise. They volunteer their time and their land to help train America's elite forces.
Well, the biggest thing is that they get exposed to as many different situations as we can present to them that perhaps they haven't ever been exposed to in regards with dealing with civilians in the role of supporting combat operations. And they stay in a deep role, never coming out.
In fact, these students don't know what dilemma the instructors are going to throw at them next. It's easy to see how one could mistake an actual police officer for a role player in the exercise. That mistake cost one student his life last February when he attempted to disarm a local deputy sheriff. Since then, officials have taken additional steps to protect both the students and the public.
All the students are required to stay in uniform at all times, which forces them to go deeper in the woods to keep from being compromised by locals. In addition, we don't work directly with the local law enforcement in role play. That completely separates them from any possible confusion with the local law enforcement.
Even with the modifications, Exercise Robin Sage is still as realistic as ever, still challenging, and still riddled with the toughest decisions a soldier must make.
Look, they're on pressure switches. It's electronically rigged. You guys back up.
Hey, back up!
Back up.
It's done, let's go!
What are you doing?
Move out! Let's go!
They're dead. Let's move.
Move out!
Somebody made a decision.
And those who make the correct decisions will earn the right to wear the coveted Green Beret.
All right, let's go. Get your dad and let's go.
And you know, Jose, Special Forces soldiers have come back from operations in Afghanistan and have said confidently that Exercise Robin Sage has directly contributed to their mission success in this war on terror.
Speeders, they're everywhere. Fort Clayton, Panama is no exception.
Put your bikes right over here.
But the military police hope to change that.
We're drawing down in personnel, we're not drawing down in our commitment.
The law enforcement activity has outfitted its bike patrols with guns, radar guns, and they're not afraid to use them.
Just locked it in. The Audi's doing 25.
We as the Bike Patrol, a community relations section, so we're out there where it gets us closer to the people, closer to the kids in their park areas, and you're out of your vehicle, you're in contact with the people in the housing areas.
Sometimes their high visibility is enough to discourage would-be speedaholics.
Somebody in a wheelchair might get some more speed.
Other times they have to make their presence known.
Pacific 1 Bravo, I have traffic. Actually, it's been very effective in the school zones, by the kiddie crossing areas and the housing areas. We've made quite a few stops, made some impressions on people, made them realize what the speed limits really were. Escuela, allá. ¿Está bien? Sí, la licencia, por favor.
The school zone she refers to is where her own daughter crosses the street. So in spite of the many excuses,
I didn't see the sign. I didn't go to.
There's
I'm not going to say
one down there.
Sergeant Hewlin continues to write.
If we stay in this area, we could write quite a few.
Explain.
It's 15 miles an hour between 7 and...
Even yell.
15, slow it down!
To get the point across.
We're just out there as a reminder and reinforcement. Pacific, this is 1 Bravo, cleared last, 11408 issued.
Army Sergeant Jay Johnson, Fort Clayton, Panama.